What up? It's yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. I want to send out a reminder to everybody. Please follow your boy on Instagram at Mr. Taliaferro. I had over 100 followers last night. I'm trying to get to 10,000 before May 1st. Please help your boy get to that goal. It's going to be beautiful to see me knock off another goal on my hit list. Please follow me on Instagram. If you got the time, I really appreciate it. So I got so many new people that have subscribed to my platform since the last time I did a rant, all right? A lot of people who subscribed to my platform early on, y'all know I was known for my rants. I go on some epic rants, but I don't do them that often. I created the news breaks because I want to get in and get out. I want to get you in and out of a story around 5 and 6 minutes. All right, that's the goal, to get as much talked about in 5 or 6 minutes. But for today, I want to do something special for my long-time listeners that remember those epic rants. I'm about to go on an epic rant, all right? Now, I want to break down who I am as a person. If you don't know a lot about me, what's up? It's yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I really come from nothing. I'm not from the streets. I ain't been in the streets, but I am from the hood. I come from nothing for real, for real. This ain't no games, no gimmicks. I don't even brag or boast about none of this. I be seeing people in the comment section call me corny and lame, and I be like, yo, I'm from nothing for real. Like, do you know who you talking to? I built all this on my own. Like, do you know who you talking to? When things come out of y'all mouth, I be looking at some of these dudes like, you don't got the right to ever call me lame, corny, or nothing. Because I'm the media guy. But whatever, I let those narratives about me just go and have at it. Rarely do you see me comment on things like this, what I'm about to do right now. But when I listen to podcasts, and I don't listen to a lot of content out there, but when I listen to content, the only thing that can get me to talk about it, if it's newsworthy, most of my platform is discussing interviews and clips and all that, or if it's so egregious, it makes me want to talk about it. Like, if something I heard is so outrageous, I gotta get on camera and talk to my people about it. Well, this one is the latter. I heard something so crazy that I have to talk about it on my platform. The one podcast that I consistently listen to every single week, 2 times a week, as a matter of fact, they got me hooked. I love the Joe Budden Podcast. I love the JBP. Salute to them boys over there, holding it down, making history from a podcast standpoint. I love the Joe Budden Podcast. One of the personalities, as a matter of fact, the last guy to join a couple years ago was a guy that goes by the name of Maul, a longtime friend of Joe Budden. All right, Maul is, to me, legendary by association. His big brother is Biggs, right? And Biggs, we all know, is 1/3 of the legendary Rockefeller. That's rap royalty. That's the first family. He's a part of the Carter family because of who his brother is. So he's rap royalty, all right? Maul is branded as the common guy of the Joe Budden Podcast. When Joe's saying something outrageous, when Rory's saying something outrageous, usually it's Maul that reels it in, right? He's the guy that has the common black dude's personality and perspective on life. Not too out of the way this left, not too far right, not too far left, all right? Well, Maul said something on the Joe Budden Podcast, the last episode, that has me scratching my head. And literally, I could only ask the question, what did he just say? I can't believe he did that. I cannot believe this guy said that. So obviously, they were talking about the Megan Thee Stallion contract situation with 1501, Carl Crawford specifically. I want to play for you guys a clip of what Maul had to say about young rappers from the hood, opting to sign with production companies, labels, when they're trying to get out, when they're broke. All right, this is what Maul said about young, broke, up-and-coming rappers signing with labels. Check it out.
I never understood why people, when they negotiate, they always say, well, I was broke and I needed money. You was always broke. It doesn't matter. Like,
when you broke, it sucks. I got to tell you, when I was 19, 20, and somebody said, check this out, we're going to purchase the studio equipment and give you $10,000 in your pocket, I couldn't sign that contract fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people negotiate from that standpoint, that they're broke and they just want money right now. But my thing is, you've been broke your entire life. Like, what is another year of being broke?
That's what those production companies kind of strive on and target. Like, I know I can get way more out of this artist because they need the 15 grand. They need the 50 grand right now. And I got that. I'm chilling. 50 grand to me is nothing. I know my own way more once you pop.
Fuck that. If you've been broke your entire life, it's okay. You made it this far. You'll be fine.
What did he just say? I cannot believe what I heard. Again, even listening to it again. I am so disappointed in Maul from the Joe Budden Podcast. Words can't even put. I know I'm about to go on a rant. Y'all about to get it. But seriously here, I can't even put into words how disappointed I am in Maul. Maul, all due respect to you. I know your big brother. I get it. I get who he is. I get it. You've likely been in a good spot for quite some time. I don't know that. All I can do is assume with comments like that. You're questioning why people from the hood, from the streets, from the trenches, you're questioning why they sign with bigger artists, why they sign with labels. What? Are you serious, bro? Are you that on your high horse, Maul, where you don't understand the concept of my family is broke? You're telling people to just be broke for one more year? Are you listening to yourself speak right now? See, you can't be from where I'm from, and I thought you was a part of the cloth that I am. I know you're much older than me, all due respect to you, but I thought when I listened to you, I always said, Joe's the crazy guy, but Maul's the guy that brings everything to the forefront. To a degree, a small percent of me is in Maul, right? If I had to relate myself to any of these guys, I would have to say I relate to Maul the most, not Parks, not Rory, not Joe, but it's got to be Maul, right? He's the common guy. I couldn't have been further from right. I was dead wrong with those comments. I'm nothing like you, bruh. You don't understand why somebody from nothing who's been broke all their life would take 20, 30, 50, 100 grand to help their family out? You telling them to be broke for another year? You've been broke for this young. What are you saying? Have you lost your damn? Have you ever been broke, bruh? Because I can't, all this content can't go for everybody. I got videos for people who like Rihanna, Megan Thee Stallion, Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Wayne. I do videos for them. But some of this shit right here, this real shit, it might go over some of y'all heads if you don't come from some of the places. If you ain't been broke before, you don't know, you can't even relate to this type of talk. Only people who've been broke understand where I'm going with this. When you've been broke, especially as a male, it's one of the most disgusting feelings ever. And anybody who's been broke, you know exactly what the hell I'm saying. It makes you feel hopeless. It makes you feel less of a man, less of a human. It makes you feel like everyone else out there is doing better than you. It truly is a sad feeling when you broke. I'm talking about dead broke, don't know what's next. And you telling these young up and coming rappers who ain't got nothing, don't sign, just stay broke for another year or two until you find your moment. What if that moment never comes? And what if the big CEO of their city who wants to sign them, the big artist of that city who wants to sign them, what if that's their one shot to get that cosign they need to get their music to the next level? Because what a lot of people don't want to talk about is when you get a cosign from a bigger artist who's got money, not only are they putting money in your pocket, that cosign is what gets your music to certain bases that your music wasn't reaching before. And you're telling people just to stay broke? Fam, I would have expected that comment from someone else, but not you. I'm more or less disappointed in you and your perspective. That's your perspective on the world? You've been getting money that long? Like, you telling artists to build it from the ground up? I'm sorry, Maul. I didn't know the name of that podcast was the Maul Podcast. Last time I checked, the name of that podcast is the Joe Budden Podcast, meaning you're a part of a whole, but at the end of the day, the name on that podcast is Joe Budden's Podcast. Why are you bringing that up, Taliaferro? All due respect to you, Maul, that podcast doesn't live and die on your shoulders. You didn't build that podcast from the ground up. You didn't build Rockefeller from the ground up. You telling people what they should do. I'm sorry, you joined that podcast late, my brother. You didn't build that. That ain't the Maul Podcast. Who are you to tell somebody to build a brand for that from the ground up? Who are you? And I say that respectfully to you. I know people who broke for real. I know rappers who looking for a shot for real. I know people that are broke for real. I've been there for real. And don't think just because I put videos out every day, I've had the privilege of meeting some very, very famous and rich people. Trust and believe, I ain't got it all like that. A couple paychecks go by and I don't get paid. I'm questioning and I'm having to figure it out. I tell people all the time, I'm 2 paychecks away from going back to ESPN. All right, just calling a spade a spade. I would have to take my behind back to where I quit, where I left and started my YouTube channel. Be clear, I ain't that far from you. I speak to you. So the fact that Maul is acting like he doesn't understand that perspective and you just telling people to stay broke, I'm questioning everything that I thought I knew about you, bruh. Everybody not gonna have a St. John artist, and I like St. John. All due respect to Biggs guy St. John, who had one of my favorite records last year. All a nigga ever knew was Trap. All due respect to him, but he doesn't strike me as the guy that's from the places that I'm from. All right, so when you make these comments about artists and them taking advances and signing contracts, you gotta speak from a place of here. You gotta have been broke before. I don't think you're qualified to speak on stuff like this. With that type of perspective, I am confused, baffled, bro. You gotta explain them comments, bro. And I know my videos do a lot of views. I know this video can reach you. Will it? I'm not 100% sure, but I do enough views to where it can. You got some explaining to do, bro. I am confused by these comments, bro. You're questioning why people sign contracts? Ironically, I'm listening to this podcast, and the 2 white guys on the podcast are trying to bring you back to reality and explain to you, family, do you know how hard it is when you're broke? Do you not know people who's struggling? How hard it is being broke? And you telling artists you don't understand why they sign a deal? Look, I'm not playing the game of should you sign a rap deal. If you got the funds to stay independent for a year or 2, if you got the talent, if you feel like you have the trajectory that you could be the next guy in the next couple years, if you got the money, don't sign it. But if your mama hurting, if your family hurting, you got kids, your BM looking for you for a way out, you are the breadwinner of your family. They look to you as the source. You got 2 jobs and you're trying to get a rap career off the ground. And somebody comes along and says, I got $40,000 for you. I got a bigger platform than you do. I know a couple of people in the industry, and I maybe can help you get your career off the ground. I cannot be the person right now looking right into your eyes. And as you look into this camera, I cannot be the person to tell you don't take that deal. I'm not saying take it, but I for damn sure can't be the person to say don't take that deal. Everybody's situation is different. But for a grown man, with the amount of people that the Joe Budden Podcast reach a week, they say they reach 1 million per episode. For a grown man to look in that camera that's claiming he from where I come from, in regards to obviously we not from the same city, but coming from nothing. For him to look into that camera and tell young rappers out there to stay broke, I cannot believe that one, man. Not stay independent. He told them to stay broke. You've been broke all your life? What? Beyond me, man. That is, as this, I'll never look at him the same. Love the podcast. Will never look at him the same. And we can, we can agree to disagree. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm not attacking that man personally. But that comment right there, a shocker from him. I guess it's got to be great when you got Rockefeller money. It's got to be great when you're related to royalty. I know it's great when you don't got to build nothing from scratch. Trust and believe, I built the platform from scratch myself. My name's on my platform. It's tough. And as an seeing up and coming artist, because I'm not too different from an independent artist, it's tough building it from scratch and being broke and trying to build it up. Trust me, I've been there, done that. It's tough. It ain't easy. And I don't think a person who's a piece of a puzzle, who's been blessed and privileged by association, should be telling up and coming artists, stay broke. Don't take that deal. You've been broke all your life. Wow. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture. I got the kids. They tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.